So far, there have been about 1,500 people cast their votes at this polling place. That was since they opened at 6 o'clock this morning. It was definitely an intentional act. A lady on purpose drove through the glass doors. Check it out. They have now removed the truck, but you can see all the glass on the floor. 6.42 inches in less than 4 hours. It washed out the train tracks. This is on Boonville and Mill Street, where the BNSF comes through. Is Springfield. Not too much traffic right now, and honestly, pretty clear across Springfield. MoDOT did a great job yesterday. He's been booked into this jail 33 times. He's been booked into other county jails 25 times, 58 times in jail. Clinic is open for business, has been all day, but the door isn't quite exactly fixed. They have a sign on the door, "We are open," but no more glass sliding doors like it was last night. It could have been a lot worse, though. 3 or 4 people inside that lobby last night. We talked to other addicts today who say that behavior is really not surprising. But it actually started with a man shooting at vehicles first as they were driving by. Deputies tell us that he was right over there by that ATM machine that sits in the Simmons Bank parking lot and shot at least 2 cars as they drove by. Both of those cars called 911, and as the deputies arrived, the shooter, we're told, also fired 1 shot in the direction of the deputies. Breaking news overnight in Baghdad. At least 27 people were killed and 53 others injured in 2 bombings this morning. A family here in Springfield had all their Christmas presents swiped right off their front porch. Take a look at the video. You can see that red Tahoe type truck backing up. Today marks 1 year since heavy rains flooded many parts of the Ozarks and across the Midwest. A slow-moving storm system brought several waves of heavy rain to our area. Hey, Steve, yeah, he is getting ready any moment to be officially sworn in as Missouri's 56th governor. You hear the band playing behind me, the bell now going off, and you can see live on stage just over my shoulder. The Kansas City Chiefs secured their spot in the playoffs after their 33-10 victory over the Denver Broncos. This is the 3rd time in 4 years the Chiefs have made the playoffs. They are in the wild card spot unless they can beat the San Diego Chargers. That game is this Sunday, the 1st, in California. We'll see if they can do it. More news at ky3.com anytime. Have a great day. Yeah, cleanup is still underway. The problem is we have 0 timeline on when it will be done, but they are working on it. Here's what we can tell you. We now know it's a 22-inch pipe that was leaking in diameter. What that looks like is this white pipe that you see right here, except for the same pipeline underground. It follows those yellow flags, as you can see, and then it goes up the hill and over there, quite a ways away from here, but where there is a clearing in the tree line, that's where the break was. To see there. This is also something to see. Jason Bourne's latest adventure is one of the top draws at the box office, and the action hero's birthplace is getting some attention as well.
KY3 News starts with breaking news.
Good Saturday morning. Welcome to Ozarks Today, the weekend edition. I'm Sara Forhetz. It's a bill introduced to the House getting some attention. It's known as the American Sovereignty Restoration Act. Following in the from KY3 News, I'm Sara Forhetz. A nice day shaping up, and then some changes are coming. Brandon?
Yeah, it's not Journey, the arena rock band that made Don't Stop Believing Any Way You Want It.
Don't stop believing. All right.
Faithfully.
Keep going.
Several other major hits of the 1980s.
Why do it? Because I won't give him my medication. The situation could have been worse. A security officer, for one, was faced to grill with this truck. The driver, 58-year-old Andrea Gully.
I'm not saying it's right, but I understand how somebody could get so frustrated to do that.
Jason Rateliff says he has battled addiction himself for 14 years and is getting better, but seeing last night's video of Gully's actions is just plain sad.
Take the worst flu you can think of, you know, the stomach, the bowels and vomiting, the cramps, and max that out times 100, and that's what withdrawing from opiates, or benzos too, Xanax and Klonopin and stuff, that's what it feels like. It hurts so bad, and you can't sleep. You'll be awake for 4 or 5 days dealing with that.
Addiction experts say it's mental, emotional, psychological, and physiological.
I would hope that we would get them help before they got to that point, but sometimes you don't know. That may have been what triggered people to say, "Ooh, wait a minute, this is worse than we thought it was."
Sally Gibson is VP of Addiction Services at Burrell.
First time I take it, I don't know that I even think about being addicted to it. And some people are predisposed. They have a hereditary thing. First time they use, their body chemistry changes and they're addicted. When you would go in for any kind of a medical procedure, give you medication. You could say, "I don't want it." Well, you may need it. You need to take it anyway. I think we're getting better at that now. I think that if the patient says, "I don't want it," we're looking at things like 800 milligrams ibuprofen, or we're looking at alternative types of pain medication. If there's a good side to it, what I like is it's bringing attention to the field of addiction and what we need to do differently.
And Steve and Lisa, we have learned tonight that it was Xanax that Gully was after last night. She is being held right now in the Greene County Jail on a $25,000 bond. And Steve and Lisa, as you mentioned, about $25,000 worth of damage here at the clinic. Reporting in Springfield, Sara Forhetz, KY3 News. The sights, the sounds, real life. This is Niazi Al-Tahafi's homeland.
My brothers there fleeing Iraq. They are in New Zealand, in England, in Jordan.
Too dangerous to stay, and if you do, a certain future of paralyzing fear.
I have a clinic in Baghdad with my brother. My clinic have been bombed twice and 3 people killed in front of the clinic. I was lucky I wasn't that time in United Arab Emirates. And my brother was at home.
Niazi wanted something different for his 3 kids. He got work as a medical doctor in the United Arab Emirates, but the work visa was running out. Time and hope was up.
Don't be like your father, 70 years searching for a home, for a country.
His 18-year-old daughter found Drury University at a college fair in the UAE. Little did the family know it would offer way more than an education.
Last year when she came was so scared. She's alone, she doesn't know the city, she doesn't know anybody, plus her English not that strong to be easy to communicate. But I kept, sometimes she was saying, "No, I will come back." I said, "No, you will not come back."
Now the entire family realizes it was a divine appointment.
I have noticed what's going on in the Middle East, killing, hatred, revenge, all under the name of religion. Religious parties, they came to power, they're all corrupted, liars. They used the religion for their own interest to reach the power under the name of democracy. So I stopped believe in religion. But I have a lot of friends in the Middle East. They are Christian, actually. And I found there is something different with them.
Niazi's son found something different too.
There are some people who I talked to from Christianity do know that Jesus was from the Middle East, and these people, some of these people could be descendants from the disciples of Jesus, but they assume that they're all just murderers.
Ali says now his mission is to change mindsets.
We are not just here to live off their land, basically. It's also we want to contribute.
Hear about how Americans view his people, and back home, how some of his people practice religion.
And it's just heartbreaking to see that, my country has gone through so much, from being one of the first the first countries to have a civilization, Mesopotamia, to being a country known for its just war and just terror. And I don't want that to be the reputation of my country. Some of them are even Christians in the Middle East who are also killed because of their Christianity. And I know a lot of Christians don't believe that, or don't still want to bring them here. They just want to be safe. That's all.
One voice. Ali says it has to start somewhere. Ali has been accepted into Rolla S&T with an engineering degree within reach, something far beyond his wildest dreams.
That's why I want to pursue engineering, so I can also, help in building America, and also then going back to Iraq and being one of the many generations who have escaped Iraq and all its just animosity to have a future, and then come back and rebuild it, because I know that my country, Iraq, can be just as good as any other country.
I am in a city, I call her my home. I am a follower of Jesus. I'm very much welcomed.
Sara Forhetz, KY3 News. Tanzania, Africa, a place with a beautiful landscape and the people with a beautiful spirit. But culturally, a place where women are often on the bottom of the pecking order, behind cows, men, and children. Their hard work pays only a few cents a day. Their husbands usually out of the picture.
If you give a man income, then he'll spend 25% of his income on the family. And if you give a woman income, then they'll spend 90% of the income on the family.
The very reason hope has come in a convoy to the least of these. Nothing here is wasted. Even a rock pile has value. Women will spend hours, days on end, breaking them into smaller pieces to sell, just trying to feed their children.
Before, usually we would have 1 meal a day, my children, and that was difficult. But now we get 2 meals a day.
Hope came to Elizabeth 2 years ago. She learned a new business, boiling cow's blood, then laying it out on a tarp to dry, then selling it as animal feed.
This helped us to get vegetables, which we could give to our children, but also to sell.
She's now making enough money to feed her kids daily and even saving some money. And now that she's been filled, Elizabeth is pouring into others.
So they are 9 plus 7, they are 16.
16 women strong by way of what's called seed capital. They're given enough money through Convoy to start their own businesses that they don't have to pay back.
You can see hope on their face, and you can see that they have confidence.
Money from those who share the heart and hands of Convoy of Hope.
They are very motivated because they live in really dire conditions. So this really is a lifeline for them and a ticket to a new beginning.
Kimmery Page works for Convoy and on this trip showed donors how their American dollars give life.
And now they have a thriving business, they're hiring other women, they're expanding their business, they're diversifying their, they're true entrepreneurs.
Convoy is even reaching out to girls before their moms and empowering them to go to school and set goals, breaking cultural norms and the cycle of poverty.
It may not be tomorrow or in a year from now, but I think generationally you're going to see a big change.
Some areas where we're working, like getting married when you're even a child is really common. Even 8 years old, 9 years old is common.
Not with this group, not anymore. Lives transformed when hope comes in a convoy.
I truly believe we can eradicate poverty.